Hello everybody and welcome to another episode. In today's episode I will show you how to replace the front brake pads on a BMW 3 Series E90 from the year 2010. To begin, all you have to do is to remove the rotor spring, this metal spring from right here, this metal part, from the top of the caliper, and after that, going behind the caliper, you will have two rubber pieces which you will have to remove. This one, and you have another one underneath. And those two rubber pieces are covering the bolts which are holding the caliper mounted onto the caliper mounting bracket. And from here is very simple. You just have to remove the brake pads and you will have to replace the brake pads wear sensor. I will show you in a second how to do all of these things. I'm not going to make a video on how to replace the brake pads on the rear side because it's exactly like on the front side. The only thing that is different is the caliper size, but in the rest it's all the same. Okay, so we're back on the front side, and first what you will have to do is to take a flat screwdriver and remove the rattle spring. You'll have to pull from it until it's coming out. After that, moving behind the caliper, you'll have to remove the two plastic covers, and after that you'll figure out which tool you will need in order to remove the bolt. In my case it's this tool. I'm not sure how this is called, but it's a similar tool like for the Volkswagen cars. I think this bolt is specific for most of the cars out there. They are all the same. Just remove the two bolts, and after that you'll have to remove the wear sensor cable. To replace the brake pads wear sensor, all you have to do is to follow the line, and the line will go on the top of the bleeder valve, and right there you'll have a rubber cap which you'll have to remove in order to release the cable, and after that you'll have to follow the cable which is going right into that little box mounted onto the car. You will see that little box, and in order to open the box you'll have two clips which you'll have to pull from them, and after that the box will open and you'll have a connection which goes inside the car and all the hardware, something like that. You'll have to disconnect the cable, and after that you will have to install the new cable onto its place. It's very easy, it's nothing complicated. So this is the connection, and in order to release it you'll have a little clip which you'll have to push, and after that it will come out like this. Before replacing the cable, in order to push the piston back inside the caliper, you can use a screwdriver, and you have to use it like this. I will show you in a second, or you can use a special press for the piston calipers, but I recommend to use this method if you don't have a press. Just put the screwdriver next to the first brake pad and you'll have to pull from it, and in this way the caliper will push the piston inside. And it's very simple, you don't have to do anything else. It will be pushed until it's not going further anymore. And from here it's very simple, you just have to remove the brake pad, and before installing the new brake pads I recommend you to use a wire brush and clean the caliper mounting bracket very good, because if you don't clean the area when you're installing the new brake pads, the brake pads won't slide back and forward so easy, or how they should. So do this thing, is very important, and it will save you a lot of time, and probably in a long term it will help you. And always use a metal part or some sort of cable to hold the caliper, because you don't want to let the caliper hang onto the brake line, because in some cases it can break the brake line. This is a piston press. You can always use one of these if you don't want to push the piston using a flat screwdriver or a screwdriver, and this one is doing the job very good. It's not an expensive brake press. I think it was around 20 bucks or 30 bucks. It's a cheap one, but it's doing the job just fine. From here is very simple. I'm going to fast forward the video a little bit because I don't want to make a video too long. It's very easy, just follow what I'm doing, and this method, this thing that we are doing here, it's working for almost any car. It's not just for BMW, it's working for almost any car. All the cars are working on the same principles and it's the same thing. To install the brake pads, from the piston, you just have to push it in like this and the brake pads will stay right there. And as for the brake wear sensor, you will have to push it into the brake pad. It's very easy, just make sure you don't bend it, because if you bend it, it will possibly break. You just have to push it straight until it pops right into the place. And from there, just follow the line. You have to install the line all around the shock absorber and where it's supposed to stay. And after that, you'll have to connect it onto the plastic box and put it inside the box and close the box. And as for the bolts, I do recommend you to use some sort of Vaseline around the bolts, because it will be easier to remove them in the future, because it won't seize up. Okay everybody, everything is almost done. This is how to replace and remove your brake pads along with the brake pads wear sensor. Don't forget to put your rattle spring onto the caliper. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video and found it informative, please leave a like and a comment down below. See you next time.